Can I ask you something?
Certainly.
Who gives a fuck what you think? This is it, Jennifer. Your big break in TV. Welcome to prime time, bitch. I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
All right, people, welcome back to our Nightmare on Elm Street retrospective, where we last left off. Freddy's dead,
again.
Or is he? Dun, 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 dun. Yes, the resident clown Joker is back at Elm Street to attack the little teen bastards that are out there.
And this time he's being resurrected by a dog pissing fire on him.
Yep. You know, you always think of originality. You know, you got the, what do you call it? The vein, the weather vane being stabbed through Jason and the vein gets struck by lightning.
Yep.
Or you get a dog peeing. Either way.
Kincaid's dog it is too.
But we're not there yet though.
Yeah.
We're here to first talk part 4.
Well, that is part 4.
What?
Part 4 is the dog pissing on him.
Oh, yeah, it is. Well, they all blend on. Go fuck. All right. We're here to talk Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, Dream Master. $13 million budget. The highest grossing one, $50 million. Which was quite a success. It's kind of a cool little underdog story because this stuff has some good... This got some good stuff going for it. Especially bringing on my boy, Renee Harlan. I am a big Renee Harley fan, and I still am today. He's making a bit of a resurgence. We'll get to that in a second here. But he is known for Die Hard 2, The Adventures of Ford Fairlane, Cliffhanger, Deep Blue Sea, the underrated gem Long Kiss Goodnight, and they're very misunderstood and just came out at the wrong time, Cutthroat Island.
I think he's made some very good films, and he comes across as a very likable guy. I'm not a fan of his Exorcist film, The Beginning.
I actually am a fan of that one. I'm a fan because he had to go back and do reshoots to make it better than the boring version.
The original version that was released as Dominion. Yeah.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Paul Schrader version, I believe.
Yes. I like Renee's better, but you're right, they're not very good anyway.
I would say in its defense as well that it's nowhere near as bad as some hardcore Exorcist fans, which I'm one of, by the way, make out. Yes, it's not very good, but it's certainly nowhere near as bad as, say, the recent one, this Believer crap, or even, and certainly not 2, you know?
Yeah. But Renee Harlan kind of disappeared for a little bit, I think because he had a couple of duds under his belt. He was tucked away. And like I said, I've always followed his stuff. His last big hit was a movie called 13 Rounds, which introduced us to John Cena. I think it was 12 Rounds. Yeah. It's actually a pretty good little film. Then he kind of disappeared, direct-to-video stuff, and now he's made a resurgence. He's doing a kind of fun thing here because of the success of Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. They're redoing a requel, kind of pretty much a reboot, requel, whatever it is. You know, remember the movie that came out called The Strangers?
Yes.
Well, what they've done is he's filmed 3 films. So there's The Strangers Chapter 1, Strangers Chapter 2, and Strangers Chapter 3.
Yeah.
And they're already filmed and done.
Right.
So they're promoting The Strangers now, which comes out in April. But then the second one's coming out like in June.
Right.
So you're not waiting a year.
Yeah, they've all been filmed back to back and they're in the bag.
Yeah, so it's the complete story of who these characters are.
That could be interesting.
Yeah, so I'm hoping it works out for him and kind of gives him the boost to bring it back. Because he's still fairly young and he's I just think he's just got a lot of talent. And this actually is his first big outing. He did a movie called The Prison. If you guys want to see something really cool, it's kind of a fun little independent horror film that kind of got him over here, well, within the U.S. that is, and kind of got him, but his name got him this film. So check out The Prison. So, so we got Renee Harlan here, and that's what we've got so far. We got some returning characters, which was nice to see. The next couple films, you have returning characters from each one, which I do enjoy. Whether they make it or not, they kind of kept removing 2 from this retrospective. They had the Nancy story from 1 and 3, and now you've got the Christian story from 4 and 5,
along with Kincaid and Joey.
Yeah, so you kind of got that carryover, which I thought was pretty good. Yeah, so we got Freddy, Joey, Kristen, Kincaid, and the drunken whore, Ellen, the mom. Yep, she's still a drunken whore. In this one,
Ondale.
And then the new kids, Rick, Debbie, the drunk dad, of course. Now we have a drunk dad in this one.
Yep.
Alice, Sheila, and Dan. So there you go. It's too bad Arquette couldn't come back. I didn't really read up on why she didn't.
On the documentary, it said none of them really knew, to be honest. And they admitted they
money.
didn't know.
I don't see it being money.
Yeah. I think it was because of her bad experience on the third one. I don't know.
Yeah,
quite
nobody
frankly.
Really knows.
Yeah.
Nobody. You know this is going to be a fucking great movie. You know why?
Why?
The opening song, Nightmare. It's this teeny bopper song.
Yeah, it's MTV does Freddy, this film.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's the worst kind of song you can. It's Tiffany, Tiffany-esque kind of song singing during A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Pure 80s. I remember when this film was first released in cinemas, I could not wait for it. And shout out to my mate Jonathan McCoubrey, who's now a sensible married man with 4 kids, runs his own shop and stuff. But me and him couldn't wait to see this. This was going to be the greatest, most scariest film ever. I was 11, he was 13, and we went down to the cinema in the town, which is no longer there, Shaftesbury Square. I think it was that one. But anyway, went down with our fake IDs, and we were really excited and couldn't wait to see it. And the bastards turned us away, said we weren't 18, despite our rubbish IDs. We had to wait then 9 or 10 months on it to be released on video. Unbelievable.
Maybe he dodged a bullet.
Well, and then I got in trouble with the video library because I kept it for an extra night to watch it again. But I did get it eventually.
Now, yeah, that theme song's just terrible, and there's a little twist to that. The person who sings the song is the star of the film.
Really?
Tuesday Knight, who plays Christian, is the one who sings that song.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't know that. Right?
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's in fitting with this film, but yeah.
Well, at least she's talentless in 2 careers.
I don't think Lisa Wilcox is sorry, Tuesday Knight. So
Tuesday Knight is playing. She's the one
new
replacing. Yeah, she's the one playing. Yeah, Lisa Wilcox is okay. She plays Alice.
Yeah, she can act a bit. But sorry,
no, the acting's a little better. The acting does get a little bit better in the Nightmares.
Tuesday
believe it or
Night,
not.
the new Kirsten is pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But again, they're not replacing Meryl Streep.
Yeah, I know, but
and nothing against Patricia Arquette, but that was her first film when it showed. I mean, come on.
Well, I mean, this generally does come across as this one and the next one, but especially this one. It comes across very much like it just reminds me of one of those really mediocre 1990s American teen dramas like Dawson's Creek or something like that.
Yes,
but
the Nightmares kind of were that.
Yeah.
Even the first one was very, 90210
yes.
meets, but it was dark.
Yes.
Now we're done. We can't judge this film based on the first one anymore. This film since part 2 has gone off the rails.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So there's nothing we can, you
can't compare it to the original.
Freddy's always a comedy. It's never been a dark horror film. The first one's long gone now.
Yes.
If the first 3 were dark, like we got with we mentioned this, Friday 13th 1 and 2, Halloween 1 and 2.
Yes. Yes.
All dark and scary. But then they went off balls in the wall for their sequels. But this never got a chance to be scary.
Yeah. Freddy became the pantomime sort of character, the villain,
So we open up, Kristen's dreaming.
Naturally.
And so she calls, remember she has that ability to call people in her dream?
Yes.
So she calls Kincaid and Joey, and the dog gets him out of there.
Yeah.
Right? I'll be like, bitch, What the fuck have you done?
Well, to be fair, they do say that. They pull her in the locker room in school. They're like, "What the fuck are you playing at? Pulling us into your dreams?" And she like defends it and says something like, "Oh, but I have to make you aware that Freddy might be coming back or something." And
Yeah, but by her doing that,
she's killed him.
it brings him. Yeah, I'm confused here. So I got a lot of confusion. I'm getting confused between this one of the fucking Dream Child. They're fucking terrible. But the first 35 minutes of this was pretty good, and that's because the original team is in that whole scenario.
I agree.
And I like their journey, and I do like the fact that they kind of kept true to their characters, knew who they were, and they didn't really sell that out. They are the last of the Elm Street kids.
Yes.
So once Kristen is killed, she kind of passes the baton to Alice. And Alice now Freddy has to use Alice to bring people into the dreams, like what Kristen did. So then he has more body count, because once Kristen died, that was the Elm Street family kids dead.
Yes,
there wasn't anybody. So the only thing he can do now is fresh blood that Kristen has to bring to him.
Yes, basically, Kirsten has basically zapped before she dies in her dream, like she's getting like burnt and all. But before she dies, she zaps her dream, pulling people into powers into Alice. So Alice is now basically Kirsten, and later as the film progresses, Alice starts to develop characteristics that Kirsten has, like smoking and stuff, and saying things that Kirsten would say. I probably watched this a bit too closely, to be fair. Cause it's,
no, I mean, it's not terrible.
The first half's the best.
It's not the best, but it's so you meet all these different characters, and what I do like about it is they kind of reverse it a little bit, where Dream Warriors, they got to become who they wanted to be in their dreams.
Yeah,
allowing them to fight Freddy, as poor as it was, they at least made an effort. In this one, you kind of, in the real world, they show their weaknesses, and that's what Freddy uses to get them. Like you see Debbie when you meet her, she sees a cockroach, and so that's who she's scared of. You got Sheila, who has the asthma.
Yeah.
You got Kung Fu Rick. It was just terrible.
Yeah.
So I kind of liked how they kind of did that. They showed their weaknesses rather than what their strengths would have been.
Well, it's also when Freddy kills Kirsten, it's like she's like saying, dream of a nice place, dream of a nice place. So she's on the beach, and all of a sudden Freddy pops up, and he's a shark. So like Freddy's now bettered what they were doing in the third one, if that, you know what I mean. He's got one over them now. Yeah.
I do like the Rick and Alice chemistry, because they're brother and sister.
And the dad, I must admit.
Yeah, Dad's a lot better in the second film.
I know he is, because he goes on a journey, an arc.
Yeah, we talk about arcs, and so he gets one. And I do think that's what works for these couple of films.
Yes.
3, 4, and 5, is because they do, the continuity's there.
Yes.
Where I get confused is Freddy himself, which is, there should be confusion with Freddy. But we'll certainly dive into it. Now, I do like Kincaid's death, because talking about continuity, they go back to where his bones were buried in the third one, and it kind of still looks like the same set, the old junkyard.
Yeah.
And when Kincaid buys it, I like how he screams for Kristen and to try to get her in the dream to help him. Nothing happens because he doesn't have that power. But when he gets stabbed, he screams as loud as he can, "He's back, Freddy's back." Yeah. So maybe she would hear that. It's actually a nice little send-off for his. And when he gets it, it kind of does suck.
Yeah, I think he's one of the best characters of the third film. And he's quite a likeable, funny character. So yeah, I was sad to see him bite the dust. Didn't really give a shit about Joey. He's pretty annoying and silly.
Yeah, he's just a little fucking perv.
Yeah, all he wants to do is wank, basically. And it kills him in the end. I actually like when he's dreaming about the model on the waterbed, underneath the waterbed. But if you look back up, the camera looks back up at the poster he has over, and she's no longer in the poster. So I think that's just a small thing.
That's cool. Yeah, and then he gets, and I do like Freddy's how's that for a wet dream?
Yeah.
It's kind of it reminded me of Glenn's death, Johnny Depp's.
Yes.
Because the bed, obviously.
Yeah.
And then the mother comes in and then sees him, underneath the waterbed.
Dead.
Drowned.
Yeah.
It's good deaths. Those are pretty decent deaths. And they weren't rushed. You still got a little bit of what they're doing now, and so forth. So, and then, like I said, they die. The two guys die pretty quick, but then you've got Kristen's swan song as she releases her energy. And I thought her death was kind of piss poor. Chucked her in the fire. We should have saw something like her.
Yeah, I mean,
her
whole character is terrible in this. And really everything about it. And what's the deal with her? Like, they have her that she smokes, but if you watch, she's not actually lighting up the cigarettes, but she's pretending to. And it's like, what? It's just fucking weird. In a professional film, where you have a character that smokes, not actually lighting up the cigarettes. I know that's a lot of people might notice that, but I notice stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean that's poor execution.
It's not a stage play. You know what I mean? It's a film where you're going to notice stuff like that, especially on replay value, and it's really jarred for me. They should either give her sort of non-nicotine cigarettes, like clove cigarettes or something, or had the character just not smoke.
The reason Christian needed to get out here, I think, sooner than later, is because, despite me liking the first quarter of the film, is you got Alice, Rick, Dan, Debbie, and Asthma Girl.
Yeah.
Sophia, whatever her name is. And they're actually all right.
I like Rick.
It's Kristen.
Yeah.
Who is kind of damaging the dynamic because she just doesn't seem to fit, and that could be down to directing, it could be down to acting, but I know the director's work, so I'm going to go with her.
But also, she's not really part of their gang; she's part of the previous gang.
Yes, she's there to pass the baton.
Yes,
but there's something inside here. Her death, when she passed and chucks her in the fire, and that's it, and the beach scene, it just seemed very silly and stupid and rushed. I think they just wanted her off the set. just chuck her. No, just.
I think they were really just looking to set Lisa Wilcox up as the leading lady. Again, it's a bit of a sort of like in the first one, like in Scream, that would follow later on. It's you don't think that she's going to be, the Lisa Wilcox character, Alice is going to be the leading lady, but then she is. If you think it's going to be someone else, but then it is her, Because she's set up as a bit of a dorky, sort of quiet, reserved, nervous character until later on when she really does become like Joan Jett and goes,
she's very she's almost like a Carrie kind of character because she's having these previsions, kind of. She's having these these dreams that aren't really dream, or she sees herself doing something that she wouldn't do in the real world, like, oh hi Dan, you're such a
they're like daydreams.
Yes. And this is where I'm trying to figure it out here. So
she's no confidence, basically.
Well, that's fine because she will eventually get that. So I understood what they were trying to do there. I love when they go to the fucking old Nancy's house.
Yes,
it's all boarded up and run down. Like, when are they ever going to tear this fucking place down?
Also, the rest of the houses in the street, if you notice, are fucking perfectly mowed lawns. Everything.
Well, that's my point. They did this for Halloween too. It's like, just tear the fucking thing down,
or at least get the council out to mow the lawn or something,
or fucking keep it clean.
Yeah, instead of the big creepy haunted house that sticks out like a sore thumb.
Oh my god!
And then Kirsten's mother appears and goes, "Andale." It's just stupid.
Well, let's talk about the drunken mom.
Yeah. So
after they go visit the house, and you see Alice seeing images and not anyone else, so you know that's what they're doing. They're going that route.
Yeah.
That she's taken over, and there's a good line actually, and it's a good fight scene between the mother and Kristen, and
the mother's spiking her.
The mom's spiking her sleeping pills. And she goes, we talked about this in therapy. You need to sleep more. And all she says, no, Mom, you just killed me. Take that to your therapy.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really creepy and good line.
Yeah.
Because technically she does.
Yeah, oh no, she has. Yeah. And the mother is she's more concerned about appearances. She's very basically snobby, middle class. More concerned about the tennis buddies,
Yeah, exactly.
Keeping up appearances.
Yeah, just like she was on the last one.
Yes. Yes.
Drunken whore boyfriends.
Where's the bourbon? Here's the fucking bourbon.
And I love how as she's falling asleep, she tries to make the call to get somebody to let her know what's happening. Obviously, at this point, it's too late.
Yeah.
And she gets it. But not before Alice, because Kristen was able to call Allison.
Yes.
And Alice kind of becomes a distraction and takes the power from Kristen. And she technically, her persona begins to change after that.
Yes.
I'm running with this whole thing so far. We're about 40 minutes into it. Okay, I'll go with it. You're doing something a little different. I'm there. But this is kind of where we start.
The problem is the characters that we're left with, the new characters, like Sedan and is it Debbie, who's the cockroach girl? The problem is they're just not anywhere near as interesting or as likable or as well played as the Dream Warriors from the previous film.
Hey, don't you love the scene where... So she's been chucked in the fire, Kristen, right?
Yes.
So they're all like, Alex wakes up, oh my God, we got to go to that house and get her.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we got to wake her up. And that you can see the big fire from her bedroom.
Yeah.
The door in the front door of the house is open. Where was the mom?
Exactly. She was too busy, on the phone or something to her tennis buddies or... Yeah, exactly. There's continuity stuff in here that is silly. That's another thing.
It's just little stuff. Like little stuff would be, they get to the house in time and the mom's running out.
Well,
please
there's
help
another
me, please help
big
me.
thing that jarred for me during this section. Whenever Kirsten is before she gets killed in this dream, it's daytime, and then it flashes to Alice in bed. Why is Alice in bed during the day at the same time that Kirsten's sleeping? Doesn't make sense.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Here's what I don't get. Or maybe,
Go ahead.
Or is that the next one? I'm getting confused because my whole thing on Nightmare on Elm Street, all the way to 3, you have to fall asleep. All right, you have to fall asleep. And 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door. 5, 6, grab your crucifix. 9, 10, never going to sleep again. It's in the fucking theme song.
Yeah.
They're not falling asleep anymore.
No, they are in this one.
No, they're not. Because these are the next one I'm thinking of.
It's the next one. And I'll explain that when we get to the next one. Because it did sort of take me back a bit. But then it is sort of explained by a couple of lines. It's the next one.
Oh.
But you know what the problem is? They do sort of fuse into each other. And I will totally give you that. Because I'm sort of having to double, so I'm sort of like the real think, was this 4 or was this 5? It's because Alice is the main character. It's like the two films are basically Alice's story, but in this one they're asleep.
Yeah, because they're in the school, and that's where Asthma Girl falls asleep.
Yes,
and she gets it.
Cockroach Girl falls asleep whenever she's doing the like the bench press type thing, and also Rick, the brother of Alice, he falls asleep when he's doing a dump, basically. In the toilets.
As you all do.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm blending them.
Yes.
Okay, but either way, you have, so as they're all being... No, I do like the fact they kill Rick. He's the first one to get it of the team.
I like him.
Yeah, he's a good character. He's all right. I like most of the characters in this, actually.
Even Dan, the jock.
Yeah, Dan was all right. And so they're all fine. I'm nothing against any of them. And so when he gets it, the fight scene was so stupid. Yeah. It was so bad.
I mean, again, in the documentary, they talk about this, and apparently it was originally supposed to be a much more elaborate special effects scene in the lift, but what happened was, for whatever reason, they couldn't do it, and Robert Englund couldn't film that day as well, so they just quickly dressed the room in all like sort of kung fu memorabilia. Because Robert Englund wasn't there, it was like Invisible Freddy. That's why. and it comes across, you know.
Yeah, it's poor.
Also,
Very
see the
poor.
kung fu moves. The actor was just making it up as he went along. It's not an actual, like proper martial art. You know?
That's pretty much what they do with the second half. So he messes. I don't give a fuck. Now, the competency parts start kicking. There's flashes of what Renee Harlan and his team are capable of. The best scene in the film is the movie theater. So when she goes to the movie theater, pretty much to stay awake,
Yes.
when she does fall asleep, the whole theater starts turning. And the whole effect is gorgeous. And it's so well done.
She flies into the
and
street.
it's one of the only first films to actually do this.
Yes.
Going from reality into the screen and becoming part of the film. And it's so, you can't catch it. It's very well
No,
done.
it is. And the special effects generally. My favourite scene in Death actually are the cockroach one, because it's almost like something David Cronenberg would do. It's just very well done.
Yeah, and these kind of are in the same scene technically.
Yes.
Because this is where she goes into the theater, and then he's got the pizza.
Yes.
And little meatball heads.
Yes.
And then he pretty much tells her, "I'm going to go after Debbie now."
Yeah.
So, and then she's working out. Her arms fall off and shit. And
yes.
It's a good death. This whole sequence is pretty solid.
You know who the real stars of, especially 3, 4, and 5 are? The special effects guys.
Yeah, they got to think of their stuff and how they do it.
Yes.
Of course, I mean, in all fairness, just any kind of slasher film, what's Tom Savini going to do next? You know?
Yeah.
You know, what's Rick Baker going to put out next?
But I think even more so with the Freddy films, because they're based in the dream world, so they're going to be more over the top and fantastical, you know?
So, when Debbie gets killed,
Yes.
okay, she dies.
Yes.
This is where I get confused.
Yeah.
Is Freddy in the real world at this point?
No.
I get confused.
Kirsten and Dan are in a dream together. Not Kirsten. Alice and Dan are in a dream together because Alice, through Kirsten's powers, has pulled Dan in. But then Freddy's like tricking them, where it's like basically Groundhog Day, where they go round in a loop.
Yeah, the deja vu thing.
Yes.
But that's why I was getting confused.
Yeah.
Where was Dan? How did Dan get sucked in?
Alice brought him in.
I know, but how was he? He wasn't sleeping, was he?
Yes.
When?
Whenever he goes to the hospital.
Oh, that's right. He's having the surgery.
Yes, and Freddy's the fucking surgeon and all. Remember?
Yeah. The problem is, I'm blending
And
this
then
with
he
the next
wakens
one.
up. He wakens up out of the coma.
Oh, and then he comes out, and that's why she's by herself. Yeah, I'm really blending both these films together badly.
No, I get it, because they sort of merge into each other, and there's a lot sort of going on in terms of, you know, who did what and what's real and what's a dream, you know. See,
the problem is it's kind of misleading, because when he gets into that accident,
yes,
and I love the shot where the trucker comes out, it looks like Freddy,
yes,
and he's got blood on his face, make him look burnt. I thought that was clever.
That's the next one.
But there was this, every time something with Freddy would happen, you have these fluorescent greens and reds.
Yes.
You know, they're kind of brightening the background.
Yeah.
So I thought they were in a dream.
Yes. No, there's, well, it's part.
I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. She runs. Okay. He is in the hospital.
Yes.
Okay. No, in the hospital. This is for the hospital. And she runs out. She's working at the diner.
Yes.
She runs out and sees that he's crashed.
Yes.
No, wait.
No, that's the next one.
Fucking hell.
Yes, that's the next one. And that's where the guy is in the truck.
I am really blending these.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Dan, it doesn't really have a lot of luck in these, you know. You know. And Freddy obviously eventually gets him in the next one. But yes, they basically go and fight Freddy, but she becomes like Kirsten, you know, fighting Freddy, and there's a whole big...
Yeah, she has to be by herself at this point, because you're right, he woke up from the anesthesia, in he didn't want to, but he ended up waking up,
Yes.
causing her to be by herself.
Yes.
And she makes that comment with the mirror's evil sees itself.
Yeah, it's nonsense.
What the fuck? Was that ever mentioned in any of
Nope.
the Freddys?
Nope, they just made that up. And then what happens is all of the souls of, the pizza heads, the children that are in his stomach, they're what kills him. And it's all like...
Yeah, they pop out. Now, is that the souls of just her friends he's just killed?
Don't know. It's not
like-
properly explained.
See, that wouldn't have been a bad shot then, because when he's getting grabbed in the face, it's actually kind of cool effects.
Yes.
And then you see the soul, these little ghost spirits coming out through this light, going up to heaven.
Yes.
Technically, and she looks at it. She kind of smiles. There would have been a nice shot, and it might have been hokey, but I would have went with it if she could say goodbye to her brother Rick.
It was hokey anyway, but yes, but a bit of extra hokiness and melodrama and vomit-inducing stuff like that would I'd have been fine with it.
Something, yeah, because they had a good relationship.
Yeah, and he was a
and it
likable
seems
character.
like in these films, is it me or was when somebody dies in these films, people get over it pretty quick?
Yeah, oh no, totally, 100%. 100%. But here, that was a bit of a sort of 80s horror trope anyway. It's like, yeah, my best friend, or my brother, was just murdered by, like, this supernatural entity called Freddy Krueger. But yeah, but whatever, I've got to go to school, or I've got to go and work in the diner. See ya.
Yeah, all right. Well, the dad's sober now.
Yeah. Well, in the next film, the dad's super.
Yeah. I'm just fucking... we should have said this down. I've talked about Dream Child already. Fucking hell.
Well,
now I got Dream Child fresh in my head because I just finished it.
yes.
Yeah, you know what though? I will say with Dream Master, I do think it's better than I remember. I'm not a dire fan of the Freddys, so I'm not gonna go, my God.
Yeah.
But the first half's pretty good. I'm going with it. The second act falls a little flat for me. Because it just seemed cut and rushed.
Yeah, it is. I agree. And I think, like we discussed, what hurts it as well is the likable characters like Kincaid, even Kirsten, even though it's a different actor who's playing her terribly. It does miss the returning characters whenever they're killed off. But also, I think what hurts this film most of all is whenever the new cast, so to speak, take over, Alice and Dan and all the rest of them, they're nowhere near as likable or as interesting or as well played as the Dream Warriors themselves from the third one.
No, I think the problem is once you killed Kincaid and Joey, Kristen was pointless. And sometimes when you're working with actors from the last film, there's a chemistry there. You built that. So once you take out the rest of them, there's only one left.
Yeah.
You're like, what do I do here?
Yeah, they're like
fish out of
becoming
water
like a
now.
moot point. Yeah, but I mean, it's but this is like the sort of pinnacle of 1980s teen horror cheese. This the number 4, the Dream Master. It's fucking nonsense, but it just like 3 to be fair, but at the same time, it's mildly entertaining.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I mean, I the funny thing is, like I said, I don't know Nightmare on Elm Street is scary because I said they threw that away after the second one came out.
Yeah.
So I'm going with them.
Yeah.
I'm just like, fuck, they're stupid.
They are what they are.
Yeah. Where Friday 13th, I expected more.
Yes, well, they're more grim in tone.
Yeah, they kind of planted the seed on where they wanted to go with that series, and then they fucking throw it away when 6 came about.
I think after 3 with the Nightmare films, it basically becomes Freddy by numbers,
Yeah, well, at least gave us Renee Harlan. He went on to do Die Hard 2.
Yeah.
All right, so we now, after the biggest hit, 50 million, they're definitely going to get a new one out. This time they brought Stephen Hopkins on board. I am a big Stephen Hopkins fan. So the one thing these guys, Robert Shea knows what to do is hire young, upcoming talent. So he knows.
He's the guy who did Predator 2, which I really like.
Yeah, Predator 2, Judgment Night, which is a little hidden gem. Lost in Space, which is underrated, and then he went on to create one of my favorite TV shows of all time, 24.
Yeah, good show.
So,
I love it. Great show.
Yeah. He's still working today, and he's got some really cool films out there. You guys should check out his catalog. This one bombed bad. This is probably the biggest bomb of them so far. $6 million budget. So that's not fair on Stephen Hopkins. They cut his budget in half. Well, the last one was $13 million. They only got $6 million for this. So, and it shows. And it only made $22 million.
Yeah. Still made a reasonably good profit, but compared to the last one, I think this is the point where the Freddy bubble burst.
Yeah, oh no, it's coming.
No, but I think this was where they were riding again. The quality of number 4, the Dream Master, is irrelevant in terms of its popularity. I think that was the height of the popularity of Freddy with number 4. I think with 5, this was a big downward turn. But hey, at least Ghost Nun's back.
Well, at least you'll know that what I'm about to talk about, because I talked about most of it in the last one there, because I got these two blended. But you know what? They feel, and that's not actually a bad thing, because if Master and Child, I got confused which one I was. That's maybe they did something right, because I always say good sequel should almost just remove the credits and play as one big film. So technically, Dream Master and Dream Child do that.
Yeah, it feels like a continuation because it is of 4.
Yeah, and so maybe there is something there.
Yes.
But here we are. We got returning characters: Freddy, Alice, Dan, and Dad, who's sober this time.
He's going to AA meetings. Good on him.
good man. And then we got the new cast: Vaughn, Greta, Mark, and the Jordans. So let's just start with the opening. The stupidest fucking thing ever. The love scene. That's so stupid. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's all filmed in soft focus, and it's like fucking.
What am I watching? 50 Shades of Grey here?
Yeah, it's like soft porn, but like it's like really erotic.
This isn't soft porn. This is not even.
Yeah, no, I mean it's all like it's all obviously it's tame. That's why I said soft porn, but it's nowhere near erotic. You know what I mean? Definitely not.
Yeah, so supposedly that's Dan and Alice getting it on.
Yeah.
And the reason that whole opening sequence was shown was because this is where she gets impregnated by Dan's seed.
Yes.
And this is where the story just jaw drops.
Mm-hmm.
This is where
basically the premise is
we went from a simple little tale of the boogeyman in your dreams to the Sandman coming to get you to this. Wow. I am in shock.
It's basically, yes, apparently babies in the womb do dream. So this is where this all stems from, the plot of this film. Basically, Alice is now pregnant to Dan, and that's how Freddy, in a way, is being brought back because he's trying to basically recharge his batteries through the dreams of her unborn baby in the womb.
Yeah, so after she...
I have a question to ask, right? See at the start, right? See, this is a genuine question. See at the very start, whenever like there's a new gang with Alice and Dan and stuff, all these really shit characters.
Scene.
Yeah. Tell me this: they're all graduating. Are they graduating from university or high school? Because I thought it was high school, but yet I didn't think you graduated from high school in America. I don't know.
You graduate from high school, of course you do.
Do you?
I got a high school diploma.
So it's not actually university, college.
No, it's high school.
Okay, that's okay.
It's high school.
Just wanted that cleared up because I was confused.
No, there's a lot more, so just pile it on. So when she has her first dream after having yum time with fucking dipshit.
Yes, the jock.
There's literally Amanda Kruger.
Ghost Nun's back, yes.
Yeah, the Ghost Nun's back. And we find out that Freddy's weakness is the mom, pretty much.
Yes.
And he won't go a certain distance.
She says kryptonite.
Yeah. And she even makes... There is a shot where, I believe it's this shot, the nun
yes.
is guiding her to this asylum. It looks like a castle almost. And it's gorgeous. It's like this old matte shot, like an old Hammer horror
There's a lot
kind
of
thing.
gothic imagery here.
Yeah, it's gorgeous though.
Yeah,
They
the matte
didn't-
painting and stuff.
Yeah, they merge it with obviously the practical of her walking up the steps. And the Amanda Kruger's got this white, nurse / nun outfit on. It's beautiful actually, and it just goes to show you, with the limited budget Stephen Hopkins has, and
There's
throw the
definitely
script
flashes
up.
of talent there.
Yeah, exactly. There's flashes of talent in this. Unfortunately, it doesn't save it, but it didn't hurt him much.
I think.
Until he
Yeah, we'll get to it, but but then we actually get to see the scene. It's a very pleasant scene where she gets basically impregnated. The nun, she gets gang raped, and Robert Englund is in it in that scene, but not as Freddy.
Yeah, it's a nice shot of that because
Well, it cuts away, thankfully.
well, they don't show. Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't even know what's really happening unless you know the story. But there's a shot where she's getting pretty much. You just see the prisoners circle her. There's a nice cutaway when the prisoners swarm her, and they obviously not going to show anything else. And then you see it from a side angle, Robert Englund,
Yes.
who plays one of the prisoners. Now I thought, there's a cameo. He always has a cameo. It's Freddy, but they're not. He's the one who actually ends up raping her and impregnating her because that's Freddy's father.
Yes.
I thought that was creepy.
Yeah, that's right. I would say as well even the stuff within the asylum, that's very gothic the way the asylum is and stuff. It's very like the asylum in Dracula, where Renfield's eating the insects and stuff.
So she wakes up, and she's kind of like, she gets up after witnessing all this again. You figured you shit your bed at this point because
Freddy's back.
you've gone through it in the last film. She just gets up and goes, la la la, la la la.
Time for graduation.
She just goes on her day.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, well, it's like people dying in these films or, anything that would be really traumatic in the real world. It's just they get up and get on with the plot, essentially,
We got a new bitch in town. This time it's Greta's mother.
Yes. Terrible
Greta's a
acting
good-looking girl,
by the
by
mother this time. Greta's mother.
There's a nice shot when she's looking out for her dad, and her dad finally is there. He shows up and she goes, I didn't want to ruin your day because he's going through sobriety.
Yeah, he's humbled.
And
yeah.
I kind of like that little shot. And then she goes, no, you're going to be in the picture. So it's a nice little shot. And I do like the fact when they do take this picture, it kind of shows you the people that are their days are numbered in that photo.
Yeah.
I do think the introduction of Greta and the mom and Dan's back and Yvonne and Greta and Mark, who's the other guy, the cartoonist.
Yes.
I think their whole intro is actually pretty solid, and I have nothing against their acting seems to be all right. It's just
the guy who plays Mark's terrible, I think.
He's bad. Yeah, I'll give you that one. But he does have the funnest death.
I thought it was really silly with the comic book Freddy, Super Freddy.
I liked it. The Aha, kind of like the Aha Take on Me video.
Yeah, but this was stupid. Yeah, I thought for a horror film, apparently it's because Hopkins is a big comic book fan. He sort of insisted on getting this in it, but it didn't work for me. I'm afraid. Not that it matters what works for me, but I'm just saying it didn't.
So then we got the birth scene. When we see like a kind of a flashback.
Yes.
Of Amanda giving birth and this
baby Freddy.
Yeah, and baby Freddy shows up, and then he goes, "He's back! It's a boy!
It's a boy!" Yeah.
Which kind of a funny line, in all fairness. But in this moment, when he comes back and he says it's a boy, and she's sitting there going, "Oh shit!" Amanda comes back.
Yes.
And this is where she knows Amanda's kind of his kryptonite.
Yes.
All right? So she pretty much tells her, find me in the tower.
Yeah.
All right? That's what she literally tells this to her.
Yes.
Find me in the tower. All right? We're going to come back to that line. All right?
Okay.
She pretty much tells her what she needs to do
Yeah.
to stop Freddy from getting any further into your world.
But it takes the rest of the film to do it.
Yeah, well, we'll get to it. This is where I get really confused. All right? So they're at the pool. They're at the graduating pool party, right? And Dan's like, I got to go see my girl.
Yeah.
Did he fall asleep? This is where I was talking about in the last podcast. Well, this same podcast, but different film. Dan's driving.
He falls asleep at the wheel.
What's with these people falling asleep all the time?
Complete plot convenience.
I mean, he's wide awake. He's at the pool.
Yes.
He's energized. I have to go.
It's a complete plot convenience. But I will say that whenever he fuses into the motorbike, it looks class.
I just think this whole scene is...
Oh, it's hokey and silly. But the effect where he becomes like this sort of motorbike monster thing is a pretty cool effect.
Yeah, I like the cartoon one better.
Nah, it's not for me.
Yeah, cartoon one's much better. But yeah, so he crashes, right?
Yes.
And she's working because he was going to go get her.
Yes.
All right. So, did you see the name of the diner she works in?
No.
It's clever. It's called the Crave Inn.
Oh yes, yeah. I think I heard that somewhere. Yes, yes.
All right. So she runs out because she hears the accident, right? And you see the truck driver who hit him comes out and he's all bloody. Looks like Freddy.
Yes.
But the blood on his face makes him burnt. You know, it's clever actually. But she sees his dead body. It's a nice shot actually, and he turns the dead body and you can see him all twisted in the car.
Yeah.
It's quite graphic. And he turns to her and Freddy goes, "Hey, bitch, I'm back, blah, blah, blah," whatever, right?
Yeah.
But she's not dreaming.
No. Well, this is the thing.
So is he in the real world now?
No.
I'm confused.
No. What it is, a lot of Alice's so-called dreams in this are happening when she's awake, and it's because it's explained, and there's like a 1 or 2 line fix later on. It's basically Freddy's doing it through her baby, through the dreams of her baby. So while her baby is asleep in the womb, her baby, Freddy, is getting to her through her baby's dreams, and that's why it's happening to her in the real world. She's like dreaming while awake in the real world, if that makes sense. It's bullshit,
okay, so that explains when she had the first experience with the whole.
Yes, exactly.
When she the nun's popping out the kid.
Yes.
And she runs into the diner.
She's 4 hours late.
4 hours late.
Yes.
Is that because she's technically sleepwalking then?
Well, she's basically entered into the dream realm, but while she's awake or something. I mean, it's all mumbo jumbo, like, but it is explained, to be fair.
All right, okay.
It's through her baby. It's Freddy is because the baby is a part of her, obviously. You know what I mean? The unborn baby.
Yeah.
And so it's like there's 2 living people there, you know. And Freddy is getting to her through the dreams of her unborn baby.
So.
And creepy kid who becomes like the manifestation of the baby. Yeah.
Yeah, Jacob is her baby.
Yes.
Grown up a little bit.
Yeah.
If that was my kid, I was like, fuck.
Give him up for adoption.
That sounds horrible. Poor kid.
No, obviously they went for a creepy looking kid just for effect.
Yeah, but we'll get to that Freddy kid scene. Oh, fuck me.
No, it's one of the biggest sort of horror cliches ever. The creepy kid, you know.
And Jacob.
Yeah.
You know, he's not one of the kids from fucking Children of the Corn.
No, well,
he looks like one of the kids. He looks like the kid from Children of the
Isaac.
Corn.
He looks like Isaac. Yeah,
Isaac.
Yeah. I mean, that's all intentional, obviously. And see the actor who plays him. He's on that documentary as well, and he has fucking barely changed, even though he's like.
I saw that.
Yeah, and he looks almost exactly the same, but with a beard. You know.
I'm sure he's happy to hear that. Would be happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So there's a line where I know what the dad meant, but it's kind of funny. So she's crying in the kitchen.
Yes.
And the dad's trying to kind of be nice, not really interfere with her. But he goes, I can't wait for the child to be here. I hope it's a boy. I'd love to hear the sound of a boy running around here again.
That's
kind of referencing his kid,
yes.
Rick.
Yes.
Which I thought was kind of nice.
Yeah, it's a good line, yeah.
And he goes, but don't make this a habit.
Yeah, because he's still a dad as well.
Well, so he's calling his daughter a whore.
No, he's just like warning her off.
Don't be a whore.
He's being a dad. He's like, she's 18. He has to be a dad, but at the same time, he's excited. And even at the end of it, whenever the baby's born, like in the real baby's born in the real world, he's like the doting grandfather. Give the dad a break. He fucking got off the drink. He's doing well.
What the fuck? Are you his agent? What the fuck? What the fuck?
No, he wasn't calling his daughter a whore. He was just like...
He was like, you whore.
He wasn't. He was being a tough fucking... He wasn't even being tough. He was just being like, trying to be like...
Don't make it a habit. So he's pretty much saying, don't be a whore all the time.
Keep your knickers up.
Keep your knickers. Who says knickers?
British people say knickers.
Yeah, cheerio, governor. I'm going to get my knickers.
Just because pants are like men's sort of knickers, even though pants in America are like trousers, basically. Potato. Let's call the whole thing off. Knickers.
Too bad they didn't say that during the filming of this. Let's call the whole thing off. Fucking hell.
Knickers, pants. Let's call the whole thing off.
So after the dad calls her a whore,
which he doesn't, but yes, go ahead.
We go to the worst scene in the film. It's so stupid. The whole Greta overeating scene.
Yeah, it is.
Here's
bad.
the problem I have with it. During this time when this film came out, you have these movies like Bad Taste and Society. Society, it reminded me of. This is not in a Freddy film.
Yeah, I know.
This is too much, too corny, too campy. This was out of place. This should have been in Beetlejuice or something.
Yeah, it's
this
really
is
stupid.
Not. It's a very Tim Burton-esque.
Even the effects on Greta's face, where she's too much food in her, is stupid. And like it's straight out of Beetlejuice or something like that.
Yeah, I rolled my eyes. I said, "This is terrible."
Greta's mother's acting is particularly bad and over the top.
Yes,
it's just real human beings don't behave like that, even if they are a bit snobby. This is like pantomime snobby.
Yeah, and they live in a little town. Where was this house?
Buckingham Palace. It's like, for fuck's sake.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, with the big long table. You could get away with it if it was a dream, but this is in the real world before it goes into a dream. Oh, that's another thing. Greta just randomly falls asleep at the table while eating the dinner while the ma's screaming at her. Who does that?
That's where I'm getting confused. I'm like, when did she fall asleep?
Again, another plot convenience like Dan falling asleep behind the wheel.
But that's my point. Usually, in the first one, they stay up. They're watching old TV at 1 a.m. The great thing about the first one, it made you feel sleepy.
Yeah.
They're like, they're watching an old black and white horror film at midnight.
They haven't slept in a week or something.
Yeah, they've got their coffee. You always saw a coffee pot in every scene.
Yes.
They threw it in your face.
Yes.
But this, they're just like,
randomly
I'm
falling
going to go
asleep.
for a walk. Oh, falling asleep.
Yeah.
What do you got, narcolepsy all of a sudden? What the fuck?
Exactly. Dan, he just falls asleep at the wheel, despite being in a whole state and in a panic to go and see his girlfriend, who's obviously distressed, his pregnant girlfriend. Greta, being screamed at by her mum with a load of people sitting around the table, just nods off. It's just it's bad plot conveniences.
Mark and her are discussing everything, right?
Yes.
After Greta's death.
Yes.
And they find out that Amanda's soul needs to be released.
Yes.
All right, so to end this all.
Yes. Which is new, by the way, just happened to come across within this film, but anyway, yeah.
No, here's my point. Amanda told her this like 40 fucking minutes ago.
No, I mean, it's new for the series. This is...
Oh, yeah.
It's a new way to kill Freddy that was never before referenced in any of the previous films.
Yeah, they can do what they want. They're not retconning anything. If it was never mentioned,
yes,
they can do it. It's a cheat. I'll
yes.
give you that.
Yes.
But my point here is that Amanda told her this in the beginning of the film.
Yes.
Come find me in the tower.
Yeah. Yes.
So I mean, they're all like, "Oh, I figured it out." No, you didn't. Amanda's up there shaking her head, going, "Fuck me, these are idiots."
Yeah.
You fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Yes.
Jesus Christ. But I do like his death. I do like Mark's, and I know you don't. They had that Take On Me thing going. I thought it was kind of fun. And I like how he gets cut up by Freddy's hands.
Like paper.
Yeah, he's like a paper. And it kind of references Nightmare 3 because he gets to become his alter ego, the superhero.
It would be,
he's,
yeah.
I don't know. I enjoyed it. Something different.
It would be
wasn't
totally
brutal,
fine
but...
if this was a fantasy film, but it's meant to be a horror film, and it just sort of took me out
No,
of it a
you
bit.
can't do that. You can't say that. You like 3.
It certainly has its flaws. I'm not saying for
Well,
3
you
was
like
perfect.
3. The Dream Warriors is a fantasy film, period.
Oh yeah, that's one of the things that listen back to the podcast. That's one of the issues I have. With
I
3.
know, but you can't fault this for doing it.
But I faulted 3, so I'm being consistent.
Well, no, but 3, then why do you like it?
I like the
That whole
characters.
thing's a fantasy film.
I like the characters. Look, it's
Doesn't
not
make any
a major
sense.
thing. We're getting bogged down in this, but I just not.
Don't you tell me I'm getting bogged down. I want to know, man. I want answers. If I'm not going to get them from this fucking film.
You can't handle the truth. I don't like the fantasy elements that we especially get in 3 and 5. But I still like 3 because of the characters mainly, and I'll be honest, nostalgia reasons with 3, which I don't really have as much with 5. But the fantasy elements, I've always had an issue with whenever they're shoved into what's supposed to be a horror film like this. But yes, it's Freddy Krueger, so there's always some sort of fantasy element.
So, Vaughn,
Yes.
she's swimming and shit.
Yes.
So she falls asleep now?
Yep. Not unless, look, it appears, look, I think, from what I can gather, she fell asleep in the jacuzzi or something around that time in the pool, right? But, you know, there is a bit of ambiguity there where Freddy has been certainly invading Alice's real world through the sleeping baby in the womb. So, to be honest, I'm not 100%, but as far as I can gather, she falls asleep when she's out swimming again. Yeah.
So her and Alice do this thing. She tells Vaughn that we are going to... Vaughn, I'm going to distract Freddy in the dream.
Yes.
But in the real world, you're going to go release the mother.
Yes. Up at the tower.
Up in the tower, which she could have done 45 minutes ago when she told her to do this for her in the first place.
Yeah.
You know, here's a problem. It tried to be clever. There's this painting I've always liked. It's called Relativity. And it's all the
upstairs, downstairs thing, yeah.
Upstairs, downstairs, all over the place.
Yes.
And they try to do that with this film.
Is it by Etcher? Is it by Etcher, that painting?
It's what?
By Etcher, the artist?
Oh, pardon me. Woo.
No, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but yes, go ahead. Yeah.
Fucking name drop. Look at you.
I'm not name dropping. I'm just trying to work it out in my head. Sorry.
Oh my God, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Shut up.
Do you read the sources too?
No, I'm a bit sort of pedantic.
I said, do you read thesauruses? That made sense. Do you read the thesaurus? Forget.
Right.
Wow. Anyways, this is terrible. And then when Jacob turns into Freddy Jr., oh my God.
Yeah, it's like basically Poundland Chucky. You know?
It's so fucking terrible.
Yeah, and he's like tricking Freddy because he's saying, I can be all yours, father, or some shit like that. And then Dan comes back, but it's Freddy, really, pretending to be Dan, and yeah, it's all a bit nonsensical.
Yeah, because here's what I don't get. I don't want to even ask you because I'm not going to get the answer because you won't know it because they didn't explain it.
Go ahead.
They're fighting. This is before little Chucky shows up.
Yes.
Well, I mean, little Freddy.
Poundland Chucky, yep.
Yeah, but he shows up. But they're fighting, right?
Yes.
Alice and Freddy. And he's stabbing her through the heart and merging with her body. I was under the impression if Freddy killed you in your dreams, you're dead.
Well, he doesn't kill her. He's struggling with her. He can't kill her because he needs her alive because he wants Jacob. But
he's stabbing her and shit.
Oh, well, who knows? Yeah, don't know the answer then. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's more that he's trying to get at. Freddy from what I can gather with this, Freddy wants Alice alive because to give birth to Jacob, fucking demon child, Poundland Chucky. And
So when Yvonne releases the mom,
yes,
Amanda goes, "Thank you," and she floats down, and he's like, "No," and the kid turns back into the actual baby, and it goes into Alice's arms.
yes,
And then freaky baby Freddy becomes a baby again, and Amanda picks up that baby.
yes.
And embraces it, and then it goes. Oh, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. And then it goes into the wombs again.
Yes.
Both babies.
No, yeah, pretty much. It's basically like trying to reflect sort of, the two women's plights, with their own specific babies. There's Alice with fucking Poundland Chucky, and then there's Amanda Kruger with, baby Freddy. So it's like they're trying to mirror, but one is going to one is saintly and going to sort of heaven, or it's going to be like a sort of a righteous sort of birth, whereas the other one, well, Amanda's taking baby Freddy to hell.
But why would Amanda go to hell? She didn't do anything.
Who knows? Well, I think Amanda'll be all right, but she's sending Freddy back to hell at least, or who knows? I don't even know if the filmmakers knew.
Well, at least the film ends on a
It's more a symbolic thing.
Sure, let's go with that.
It's not very poetic. Yes, I know it's Freddy Krueger 5, but it was an attempt at sort of reflection and sort of like symbolism.
Okay. And of course, you end All Nightmare on Elm Street with a rap song.
Oh,
by
naturally.
Cool Mo D. Let's go.
Yeah. Totally out of place from what went before. It had this big sort of reflection on sort of, women giving birth and, the plight of, unborn babies and all. Next thing you've got fucking some gangster rap song.
Fuck, it's terrible.
Yeah. It's an
Oh my God. And it's going to get worse, people.
Yep.
It's going to get worse.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to give you a bit of a teaser for the next one. I have a huge Doctor Who reference for Freddy's Dead. You probably know it already, but
I give a fuck. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this one up, guys. Listen, thanks for listening in. We'll be coming back here, obviously, with I believe it's
Freddy's
Dead
and New Nightmare.
Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Yes.
Yeah. So give us a shout here on _podcast on Instagram or of course Facebook as usual. I do apologize for blending my movies, but you know what? My blending of those movies would have been a better movie of just the one movie than seeing two of them.
They're sort of blended anyway, to be fair.
Yeah. But wow. I'm still can't get over that when Jacob turns into wow.
Yeah.
So bad. All right. It's official. The new issue of Phantasmagoria is out now.
Well, it's by the time this, I know there's been these delays, and I do apologize, folks, for these delays. But these things have to be done right. But by the time this podcast goes out, it should be about a day or so away. The brand new Hellraiser special.
Wow.
Yep.
Exciting.
Containing all the sort of interviews and contributions from the original cast and crew of the first 4 films. So yeah, one not to be missed. Available throughout the world from Amazon and other select stores.
There you go. I have nothing coming out.
Well, you're in the Hellraiser special. We a review. You're part of it.
Me. You don't have to name drop me. It's,
Like in the last podcast, I name dropped Jennifer Rubin. And now it's Ciaran Woods. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I'm in good company now with Jennifer Rubin and myself.
Well, this is it. Interviewed by. I haven't even. Yeah, I have interviewed you. Yeah. Do you remember?
Have you interviewed me?
Oh yeah. Remember in one of the earlier issues of Phantasmagoria to promote the podcast before I was a part of it.
That's right. Fuck.
Lula and a couple of the other
Chris
guys.
And the other gang. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah. Back when we were young.
Jesus.
Our whole lives in front of us.
Now we're almost dead. Wow. Wow, this got deep.
Not as
Maybe we
deep
should-
as Birdland Chucky and Ghost Nun.
I just don't get how people can think the Nightmare on Elm Streets are up there with Friday the 13th or Halloween's. There's not.
Oh, there were some stupid sequels to the Friday the 13th
There,
and Halloween.
there are.
as well.
No. Of course we are. We did the retrospect, but 1 through 4 are fucking. I mean, you can't touch 1 through 4 Friday the 13th.
The original
I just-
Nightmare on Elm Street is a classic. Yeah, but those 3's a lot of fun, as silly as it is. But yeah, and while some of the other sequels do have their moments, yeah, I mean,
All right. Well,
no, you know what?
We'll
You know what?
wrap it up.
There's a
We
big
still
thing
got a
as
couple
well
more to
with the
go.
Nightmare on Elm Street, and I include myself in this. Nostalgia.
I think I got rid of nostalgia. I think like we talked about the short circuit,
Yes.
and I thought it'd be terrible, and I thought nostalgia, but no, you know what? I fucking still put this smile on my face.
Well,
But okay, listen. We'll be back, and then I'm actually looking forward to talking about the remake. Should be interesting,
yes, so am I actually. Yeah.
and we'll compare apples to oranges.
Okay.
All right, guys. That was a long closing out part.
Yeah, that was the final sort of.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
it's
that's the end of
guys, it's fucking late. I'm going to bed. Guys, take care of yourselves. Have a good one.